Hey guys, I'm going to show you the new way assignments are being graded, how you can check everything out. I'm doing all of this on my phone, so it's showing you the apps version, which I think a lot of you are checking your work on. I personally have an iPhone, just so you understand. Now I've created this little tester class, so I'm not showing a real project, but it's all made up the same way. Let's go over into classwork. So we see current project, old projects. You guys and yours have a lot more topics. I just wanted to show you here. Let's go into current projects. Let's say your project for the week is done. You see there are some new things added in here now. We see at the top, we see it's now out of 4 points. And then there's also an attached rubric where it says week of art, turn in here, 1 criteria, 4 points. If you click on that, it's going to open up the rubric for you. So we are going to be starting to grade your big projects that get turned in and a score out of 4. If I click on it, it'll go into the details. So we see up here on the top, I'm really looking for your craftsmanship for this. What I mean by that is your art piece is neat and completed, chosen material was used well, student chose a project appropriate for their skill level, reflection is answered in complete sentences. So remember, we got to think about the 4, 3, 2, 1, like we do on our classroom assignments. So a 4 means you exceed expectations. So that is going above and beyond. Extra skills and techniques were used to make it better. Student incorporated their own ideas to make the art unique to themselves and show their creativity. The reflection goes into details for reasoning. So if you're looking for a 4, I got to see you really push yourself, go above and beyond, and your project's got to be super neat and well finished. A 3 is meets expectations. Most of you are probably going to live here in a 3. So meets expectations means the project was finished, material chosen works well for the project and was used neatly, reflection was finished using complete sentences. So a 3 means you met all the requirements. You didn't do anything extra, but you met them all. Okay, a 3 is a great score to get. A 2 stands for approaching. So this means the project was finished, but results are not as neat as expected, or possibly your reflection was not completed, or even with one-word answers. So I am really starting to ask you guys to do complete sentences for your reflections. If you don't, it's going to start bringing your grade down a little bit. A 1 is a basic. That means little effort was put into the project. It is unfinished. Reflection is not completed. That means you left multiple questions unanswered. Okay, it's obvious that your project, you kind of gave up halfway through and you stopped working at it. That's a 1. Now, if you don't turn in the picture of your artwork at all, it doesn't even get a grade. It's not even a 0. I'm just going to turn things back to you right away. I'm not accepting them anymore. All right, so that's how the rubric works. So you can see the grading. If you have questions on this, feel free to email me. If I click back, I'm on the arrow at the top. It'll take me back. One more time, arrow, back to the assignment. All right, so let's say I'm ready to turn in. If I go down to the bottom, we see your work. I'm going to click on that arrow pointing up. There we go. Now we're open into my area. Now, first off, you got to do your reflection. Always do your reflection. So I'm going to click on that where it says Week of Art Reflection. It says my name twice because I both assigned the assignment and I have an account trying to do the assignment. So yours will probably say my name than your name. Okay, so I'm going to click on that document. Going to take a second to open up. Waiting. There we go. All right. So for your reflection, I personally like to do it on computer because then you can type it in. But if you're doing it on your phone or tablet, let me just show you the easy way to actually type into this assignment. If you look up at the top, there's what looks like a little pencil. Click on that. This is going to give you an editable version. Now, right now, if you look at the bottom, the pen is highlighted. So I could try to write in, but my fat fingers would not have a good time with that. There's a back arrow up at the top for undo. Instead, I want to type. So at the very bottom right, there is an A. That's going to give you a text box. So now that the A is selected, I can take my finger and in the area below the question, I can drag and create a box. Make sure it's nice and big and long enough. Now you can type in your answer to the question, whatever it is, and you just click out of it when you're done. And you could do that for every single question. Type in your answer, click out of it, make a box, and you do that for each one, working down, blah, blah, blah. You get how that works. When that is all done and you've finished answering it, up at the top right, it is a really dark gray, so it's hard to see, but there is a button that says Save. Click Save up on the top, and it is going to save it. Give it a second, let it think. There we go. Now I'm going to click the X in the top left to go back. And now back on the home screen, we see that there's both the original blank one and my edited one. I always like to open it up and double check. Is it what I made? Yes, it is. I can X and go back. Now, remember, as always, we also have to attach a picture. Again, if you don't attach a picture, I'm not going to give you a grade. I'm just going to give it back to you. No picture is no effort. So you got to hit Add Attachment. Click that. Now, again, I'm working from my phone right now. I'm guessing most of you, if you work from your phones, it's just going to be in your camera roll. So I'm just going to go down to where it says Pick Photo. So that's going to take me to my camera roll. There we go. Let's just say, my photos. Sure, I'll pick one of my drawings I did. Let's say that this was my project for the week. I select it. It then gives it a second to attach it. It's thinking, it's thinking, it's thinking. Depending on how big your picture is for the file size, it might take a little bit longer. That's to be expected. Also depends on how fast your internet is. Come on, attach it. Almost there. Come on, come on. There we go. I'm going to give it a second. Boom, there it is. Now again, I always like to open it, double check. Is that the right one? Give it a second to open. I know this seems like an extra step, but it's always a great idea to double check. Yep, that's the right one. I can hit the X in the top. I see that I have my reflection and my art. Now I can click Turn In. 3 attachments submitted. Yes, click Turn In. And then stay on this, and here we go. At the bottom it says assignment is turned in. That is done. So I can click that arrow to close it. Down at the bottom we see under your work it still says turn in. That's good.